Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Wind Waker Unflooded, perhaps? We are playing The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker today. I know this is a long time overdue. Let me adjust my volume real quick. I love this game so much, and obviously this is what inspired this project. This YouTube channel is dedicated to a Wind Waker fan project. And so it made sense to just actually play the game itself. And I've been craving it for a second because I've realized that it's been so long since I've actually done a playthrough of the game. It's been just enough time that I've kind of started to forget little details here and there. And I know this game like the back of my hand. It would be hard to forget anything. But there are little things here and there that by doing a fan project, by necessity, I've had to just know so much about the game. And I've realized that there's things that are slipping. So it's been, I think, about a year since I've really done a full playthrough back to front to back. I've started the game since, but I haven't really done a dedicated playthrough. So let's do it. Let's hop into it. I'm so excited just to do this with y'all. I love this game, and I think I don't know, I'm excited for y'all to join me for the ride, because this is not just a let's play. This is a chance to just study this game that I care about. And so we might get a little analytical here and there. But long ago, there existed a kingdom where a golden power lay hidden. I might read the text. I'm sorry, guys. It was a prosperous land blessed with green forests, tall mountains, and peace. I love the music here, man. Just the drama already. But one day, a man of great evil found the golden power and took it for himself. Ooh, who could that be? With its strength at his command, he spread darkness across the kingdom. I love just the art style of this, man. Just off the bat, not just the cell shading, but it starts with this prologue. But then, when all hope had died and the hour of doom seemed at hand, a young boy clothed in green appeared as if from nowhere. Who could that be? Oh, I love the smoke detailing in the background. Wielding the blade of evil's bane, he sealed the Dark One away and gave the land light. It's catching you up, because if you haven't played Ocarina of Time, when I played this game for the first time, I hadn't beaten Ocarina of Time. I played it, but I hadn't beaten it. This boy who traveled through time to save the land was known as the hero of time. I think it's really smart. Excuse me. The boy's tale was passed down through generations until it became legend. I think it's just a really cool way to start the game. I don't need to read every dialogue box. I don't need to worry about that. Oh man, I've never done this kind of video. So I was just trying to figure out even just how do I start, how do I approach it? So this is all new for me. I don't know, I don't really count myself as a streamer. I don't even really call myself a gamer necessarily. But I'm someone who loves games and who has favorite games, and this is one of my favorite games. And so I don't know, I think it'll be an interesting playthrough because of that, because this is a game I've played so many times, and now I'm playing it with the intent of just learning from it again, just opening myself back up to say, what have I missed? What is there to learn? These details of the world I may have missed, just, really paying attention to the text boxes and the details of this world. Really excited. Something that I didn't even think about with the prologue until I started doing my fan project was the idea of Castletown being rebuilt, because there it is in flames again, after Castletown was already destroyed during the events of Ocarina of Time. So it was then rebuilt after the events of Ocarina of Time, clearly, and then destroyed again before the events of the Wind Waker. But what became of that kingdom? None remain who know. It's just so dramatic, right? Just this whole thing about this lost kingdom and this apocalypse. It's we're told it's a kid's game, and then it starts with this, and it's hey, actually, we are in the wake of a literal apocalypse. This kingdom was destroyed. This great evil appeared, and maybe it won. The hero never returned, but perhaps you can be the hero. It's just such an empowering message. And I guess just something I want to keep thinking about as I play this is the message. Just thinking about what this game has to say and making sure I'm playing it on its terms. I don't want to impose anything upon it. Because I know as Zelda fans, it's there's different Zelda games that say different things. And when you try to line it all up, sometimes, it's easy to misunderstand things. And I don't want to impose my understanding from one game onto this game. It's a connected series, but, I want to play this game on its own terms. Oh, I love this art style. Outset Island, baby. It still looks good. This feels like it could have been a new game, just minus the resolution difference, right? Um, like that's the only thing with this art style is aged so well. I think I can say that objectively. I feel like I'm not objective just because I grew up with this game, but it's not like I made the game. Like I'm still a part of the audience. So I don't know. I feel like I can be objective, but I don't know. This is the way I see it. Oh man, and just this opening, man, too. Just starting with, because there's Zelda games that don't do this well, but making sure you really feel like you have a relationship to your community. That's something that this game really does well. I think Twilight Princess does it really well too, and Skyward Sword. Those three games I feel like are the champions of just really making sure you have a connection to this community that you're going to eventually save. Other games don't necessarily do that as well, but yeah. Oh man, I knew you'd be here. Look at that sky too. Even with the low res cloud textures, like it looks beautiful. It's my favorite spot to gaze out at the sea. When I play with the gulls, I call it Ariel's Lookout. So, do you remember what day it is today? I wonder what day it is. You're still half asleep, aren't you? Did you forget? Come on, big brother, it's your birthday. Oh man, excuse me. I'm just so excited to revisit this and all this. It's nostalgic for me. I grew up with this game. But it's been so long since I've done a proper playthrough. So it's nice. It's like coming home to play this game. It's very homey. And it's graceful. Like there are games that I go back to and they age. And this is a game and that's part of why I fell in love with it, right? There's so many games that I love from my childhood that I did go back to and they look different, right? They look old. Excuse me, this is interesting. This texture, so usually the way I've been using textures in my project is that if there's a grass connection, it happens on top in general. So it's interesting to see this flipped, but it totally makes sense. This texture is just usually upside down from the way I've been using it. Interesting. This is just part of why I want to pay attention to this stuff, right? And just make sure that as I use the textures from this game, that it's coming from a place of knowledge and intent. Is it true that if you have a little courage and run as fast as you can jump to that rock out there? Yeah, easy. I can even jump to this one. You want to be careful with rubies in this game because you can rack them up pretty quickly to the point that how do I put it? You don't want to max out your wallet. So if you get too many rubies, obviously you need rubies to get the sale at Windfall. But if you have too many rubies, you'll just max out your wallet and end up making a couple treasure chests worthless. And that's no fun. That said, I could use a couple. Maybe I do want to activate the giant pig condition. So let's go over here and see what she wants. I should have brought the pig to her. I think I can start with that. But today's your birthday, isn't it, Joe? Well, how nice for you. I suppose I should congratulate you on your birthday, shouldn't I? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know should I do voices for the characters? I can congratulate myself too. We just finished building our little hutch and paddock today. A delightful addition. It is delightful. I was thinking of getting a pet. If you've seen a good, be a lamb and just bring one here. Excuse me, I'm skipping through the dialogue. I don't have to read everything. Y'all know what the game says. I don't know. I know if y'all are already fans of my channel, then y'all probably have played the Wind Waker before. So, but I don't know. Maybe I should be, if this is an introduction to the game for anyone, then maybe I should be more cognizant of that. I don't know. I assume that if y'all are watching, you've played the game before. But maybe that's not true. Maybe y'all have no idea what the game's about. So, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't gloss over too much. But anyway, let's give you a pig. Will we be rewarded? Hey. Did you see the pig that I just tossed in your pen? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you not care about this one? Is this one not good enough for you? Am I tripping? I could have sworn she's asking for a pig. And I put it inside the fence. Now, is this good? I'll give you a little spin. Is this not inside the fence? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Thank you so much. I've been thinking of getting a pet pig for a while now. The boys will be so happy when they get home. I don't know what was up with that. It didn't register the pig being in there. I guess it's an old game. It's broken. This game sucks, right? This is the worst game ever made. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know why I'm doing a fan project based on this game. It sucks. It doesn't even know when you've dropped a pig inside a fence. Come on. Drooling looking kid over here. Come on. Worthless little shrub. Anyway, I still don't get, what do y'all think, like, because there's the upside down Triforce on the door here, and Grandma eventually says that the family crest is on the shield. Does that imply Link has royal blood? What do y'all think? Because I always thought part of the point of the game was that everyman story, that, you know, a hero could come from anywhere. And I think that's still the point, and that, like, maybe it's not really their family heritage, but just they've treasured the story of the hero of time. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you treasure the story, maybe that's the point. I don't know. I want to pay attention to this and really get the theming there. Because there's text in the game, right, that says that Link has no connection to the Ancient One. Like, that, I feel like, is made clear. But also, I want to pay attention to that just to see if there's any other details that would be relevant. In the olden days, this was the day boys were finally considered to be men. They were taught the ways of the sword to prepare them for battle with their enemies. But we don't live in such an age any longer. Our ways are the way of peace. Nowadays, I suppose Orca's the only one of the island who still knows anything about swordplay. I really like this, too. It's like it only takes a couple lines of dialogue, but you can tell that Grandma, how do you put it? That there's not shame in heroic, like, swordplay. That's not the way to put it. But there is this kind of aversion to say, like, well, we're not in wartime anymore. The war is long past us. And all the suffering that came with wartime and with the apocalypse should be long gone. Let's move past it. And yet, still, during dark times, you need to be a hero. And that may mean taking up the sword. You know, you may want to be out of wartime, but when it comes to you, how will you act? And there's just a really interesting kind of, I don't know, just I love just that kind of discussion, that you can tell that Grandma is resistant to that. Of course she is, you know, as we all are resistant to war. But I don't know, I love that little line, just that, like, you know, now our ways are the ways of peace, but we'll see how long peace lasts. Because, like it or not, even if you want to be in peacetime, you know, you can't change who chooses to attack, right? That's the unfortunate world we live in. What do you want? Aren't those clothes hot? Yeah, I look pretty hot, right? What are you talking about? Stop chasing me, bud. All right, well, let's go speedrun. Let's speedrun the game real quick. Talk to Ariel. I hope that nothing bad happens while I'm up here. That would actually really suck. I don't know. I hope that when I climb this ladder, just everything is nice. Oh, it's so beautiful, man. And it's so simple, right? It's just like a flat color going into the distance, basically. But I can't even tell where it ends. Because I know, obviously, that there's part of the skybox is part of the sea as well. And you can see that there's a color shift. But I can't even really tell where the geometry ends and the skybox begins. It's effortless. And that's something that even modern games, it's like you can see the seams if you look for them. And this one, I can't even tell. The illusion totally works. Hoy, big brother. Did Grandma make that outfit for you? What's the pause? Oh, wow, you look like you would be way too hot in those clothes. I guess they're pretty neat, though. Yeah, they are. So anyway, Joe, can you close your eyes and hold out your hand just for a second? I'm going to give you my most treasured belonging. Aw, Ariel, you don't have to do that. Let's go! The telescope is your sister's most precious belonging. Oh, man. It's tough, right? I mean, with the music, the expression, like, already, like, you know, you just want everything to be okay. You know, just when you know what happens next, it's just, oh, man. Oh, man. And, like, this is efficient, too. Like, Twilight Princess really draws out its opening, as does Skyward Sword, right? They really make a point out of taking a long time in the introduction to build up your relationship to the characters, which I think is fine, and I think it works in those games. But I really respect that this game can get it right in just a couple of minutes. You know, you have a relationship to these characters, and especially to Ariel, and that this game, I just respect it. I guess that's the thing, right? It's like I'm nostalgic for this game, But I keep coming back to it and gushing because every time I revisit it, I realize, wait, this is just so well made and beautiful, and it works, and even compared to games that have come since, to newer games. I guess I want to pay attention to just even this cutscene. You can see islands in the distance. Obviously, you can't see every island of the game, but you can see a good way. I mean, we just saw Needle Rock Isle in the distance. I think that's Needle Rock Isle over there. And like that's a ways away. So like there is a pretty good draw distance, even if we can't see every island in the game. But I still I think that's still part of the point creatively. Like it's as if like the horizon stops after a moment. It's not just for the sake of loading times that you can't see every island in the game. Because from this perspective, right, the map is not a sphere, right? Even though the world is round, this map is not a sphere. So if if the game let you, you could look off into the distance and see the Forsaken Fortress over there. And it's not that far away, but it's not loaded in. And I think part of that intention is not just to save space. I mean, obviously memory constraints are a thing, but it's also just for this effect of there being a horizon line that as you sail further, the horizon line moves and new islands are revealed. I think that's also an artistic decision. And maybe it's just a happy coincidence that artistic decisions and creative limitations can kind of partner up really well. So I don't know, maybe that's all part of the point. But anyway, speedrun. I do wonder, I've been making, and I think there's precedent for this, but these paths, for example, are really skinny and barely take up more width than Link himself. And I've been using pretty wide paths in my fan modeling project, but there is a precedent for that, on Windfall Island and in Underwater Hyrule, there are pretty wide paths. But I guess I just want to pay attention to it because these Outset Island paths are pretty skinny. Hoi! I don't need to talk to that guy. I don't need to. I don't mind him. But we're speedrunning, right? This isn't I don't know, maybe I said that we'd take it slow and be analytical in this playthrough, but I don't know, I know what happens when I talk to him. I know he tells me. The look on your face, I suspect it is no laughing matter. What say you, Joe? Have you come for some serious instruction in the way of the sword? Yeah, I have, actually. Oh, man. I love the gong. It's just... I guess I love that it's a matter of, respect, right? Learning the sword. As I was saying, too, about, what Grandma was talking about. But, swordplay is... There is honor in being a knight. And this game, I think, communicates that really well. Even despite it not being a kingdom at wartime anymore, there is an honor that Orca recognizes in a respect given to defending those you care about. And I like that this game, because that's what the game is about. Saving Ariel is there's a time to take up arms when you're protecting those that you care about. Obviously, violence is never good, but there's a place to protect people, right? Was it asking for the spin attack? Yeah. Excuse me. And obviously, as a Christian, I believe in loving our enemies, right? But even so, even biblically, there's a point where sometimes, you can righteously be defensive. And there's a place for heroism there, of course. Of course. Let's do the jump attack real quick. Excuse me, we're going to talk about the philosophy of this game as we play it. Oh, man, there's a really great series of articles called The Philosophy of Wind Waker. If y'all can find those, look them up and delve into that. But that's just a really great analysis as well with the message. Just, talking about what this game has to say. Because I guess that's the thing, right? Is that, this game does have something to say and to articulate. And I think if you've played that, you know it. But I guess, it's something that, playing this game as a kid, oh, man, it's just... It's set the bar high for what games could be, the stories they could tell, and the fact that they could be so meaningful. Because games don't have to be. And just as a medium, games don't have to have a strong story or a strong message or articulate their themes as well as this game does. And I guess that's what is so powerful about it, is that this game has stuff to say and it says it so well. And I guess and it's meaningful stuff. It's not just like talking about Hyrule and its lore. And I know that as Zelda fans, like so much of what we get caught up in is the world of Hyrule and its lore, and we talk about it on its own and its own history. Watchtower, Forest of Fairies. You got to read the signs sometimes, see what they say. I don't know, man. Like, even though, like, obviously, like, I look at this wall, I can see its pixels. I know it's a low resolution texture relative to, like, what would be made today. But, like, it still works. And artistically, and some of that is just because, like, so the colors are, like, consistent enough and tones are, like, flat enough that, like, even if it's low res, it's, like, the color is still what it's supposed to be, so it still works. I don't know. It's like I would be fine if a game like looked like this today, even with like the textures. Like, I mean, if it came out on Nintendo, I'd want higher resolution textures, just a little bit, but not by much. Like I think this game still looks good, and like I don't know. I like the way it looks. Oh man. And just the sound design too. Like you get up to this part of the bridge and the music stops and it's quiet. And I know different. I think Liam Triforce talks in his analysis about like this is the moment where you're going into the woods. Things are more dangerous than they've ever been. Like you've been hearing this nice little polite music, but now the music drops out. You hear the rush of the wind. It's getting quiet, and it's time for you to finally be a hero like you've never been before. I guess I like that this game, like, I mean, Zelda games, like, just, like, historically, like, take their time into getting into, like, proper dungeons. Sometimes they have pretty long intros. But even so, it's like this game, like, and it does have a pretty long intro. We have to get through Outset Island and the Forsaken Fortress before we really get to the first dungeon, per se. But, like, its intro is still all fun, and it lets you experience being a hero pretty quickly. We're fighting monsters after, like, a couple minutes, basically. And I don't know, like, that's not true for every game. Twilight Princess takes a little longer. Skyward Sword takes a little longer. And so I love that this game just, like, it sets up what it needs to, but a part of its intro, like, lets you experience, like, I don't know, it lets you be a hero pretty quick. And obviously, like, that's fun, too. We're fighting enemies already, right out the gate. And I don't know. I'm even going to defend. I'm interested to see how I feel, if I feel differently when we get there. But I even like the stealth section of Forsaken Fortress. And I don't know. Like, I think that that's tense and is a good way of, like, building tension. Like, we've had this battle encounter, so we know how it feels to have a sword and the power that gives us. And then our sword is taken away. But obviously, there's still combat encounters in the Forsaken Fortress 1, right? We still have to, like, scrounge for a makeshift sword, and we still fight enemies, so it's not all combatless. So I don't know, I guess just like there's discussion around this game, and I want to make sure just as I play this playthrough that I want to make sure all the discussion is fair as well, because I defend this game because I have fun with it and I'm patient with it, but I also think that like the game doesn't really ask you to be, too patient, like I think the game rewards you and I think it's fun, like I think it works. I think it's a good game. So, here I am just defending this thing that I care about. But thank goodness you're safe. I don't know what this guy's voice would be. He went oh, so I don't know. Dropped on the summit. Summit. So that bird dropped me on the top of a mountain. Well, that wasn't that nice of it. I love Tetris sass. Let's go, and just like the text being different. Sizes, like it's just so stylistic. I guess it's just I love that all the artistic decisions of this game just feel so motivated, all to the point of like saying something. Just all the little things all add up. I don't know, just like nothing feels like it's here by accident. Big brother. Oh, I'm not ready for this, y'all. I mean, y'all know what happens. Y'all played the game. I know what happens. But it's so simple. And even just this little exchange, they're so happy to see each other. It's such a simple, like, storytelling moment. And it's just crushing, right? The bird comes back. It didn't find who it was looking for. It takes the wrong girl. And just, man, it's crushing. Like, I know it. I know this is gonna happen. And man, just Link is already ready to save her. And I like that. Like as we were talking about, like a hero can come from anywhere, right? And already Link has the spirit of the hero. You know, in like that literal sense. He has a heroic spirit. I know, like in Zelda lore, quote unquote, the spirit of the hero has been like turned into this weird like statement about like reincarnation and maybe like bloodlines. But like I think, you know, like as the spirit of the hero is actually discussed in Zelda dialogue, I think it's talking about what you just saw, that like this kid, like, you know, he had no training, but like he felt called to rescue somebody. He felt compelled because Lord knows she needed rescuing. Something had to be done, and without pause, without hesitation, he was willing to run out and do something. So man, I don't know. And Tetra has something to learn from that. I love Tetra's arc, man, because right here, like she's like, well, that's none of our business, right? We don't really have anything to do with this whole thing, right? She rejects the call to adventure. So I don't know. There's something to say here about like the Wind Waker and the hero's journey, and I know Ocarina of Time story is compared a lot to like Joseph Campbell's like the hero's journey, but Wind Waker does it too, and it does it. I like that it hits the beats with Tetra and Link, because they both have, you know, they both have growing to do as they both become heroes in different ways. I don't know. I like that. And Tetra's, of course, like you don't play as Tetra, so a lot of her development happens off screen, but we do see her character grow, and like she has a really strong arc throughout the game. And I don't know. I'm excited just to revisit that all. I don't know. It's powerful. Young girls with long ears like yours have been getting. I love the Rito design as well. Like so much of this game, it's like it does a lot with a little, and like I love how like showy like the Rito designs are in like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like they're very how do I put it? Yeah, I think showy is the word. Flashy designs. And this game just does a lot with a little. Just like a flat color here and there, pretty simple textures. The geometry isn't insane. I may as well tell you that the bird that kidnapped both you and Joe's sister has made its foul nest to the north on the heights of the Forsaken Fortress. The Forsaken Fortress? Isn't that the place where... Now, what do you think Tetra's going to say? What do you think Tetra's heard about the Forsaken Fortress? Comment down below. Under the circumstances, I don't think it would be unreasonable for you to give Joe a little help now, would it? I don't need you to tell me that. Even if I were to consider it lately, I've heard nothing but evil rumors about this Forsaken Fortress. You can't possibly mean to go there with nothing but that cheap little sword. That's not brave, it's stupid. I mean, come on. Even a simple little island like this has to have something you could use as a shield. You know, something to protect yourself with. Anything. Tell you what, if you come back with something like that, we'll let you stow away on our ship. Oh, and one more thing. Once we leave, you won't be coming back here for a while. So you better say goodbye to your family while you have a chance. I don't want you getting all weepy-eyed and homesick on me. That's a great line, too, because obviously that tells you where to go, like, as a sense of game direction. But it's delivered with character and intent. Like, you know, it's a way for the developers to say, hey, here's where you should go next. But it's I don't know, shout out to the writing. That's hard to do sometimes, where you want to say, like, hey, we have a specific goal and want to tell the player what to do, but can we deliver it in a smarter way? It's hard to do sometimes. But anyway, before we check on Grandma, I think it's time to end the video here. So we'll find out what she has to say in the next video. See y'all then. Thanks for watching.